Just when you thought you had California's gun laws figured out, the legislature and courts throw more curveballs. And this time, these curveballs are particularly, curvy? Hey everyone, Ray from A2 here. I'm not here to talk politics and I'm also not a lawyer, so I'm not commenting on the merits of any of these laws or giving legal advice about any specific situation. As a seasoned firearms instructor, my aim is to help you stay on the right side of Johnny Law and teach you how to effectively protect yourself with the tools that are available to you so you can stay compliant while maintaining confidence and competence. Lately, I've been getting daily phone calls and messages about these new bills and court cases, so let's break them down so you can stay triple C: confident, competent, and compliant. All right, let's dive into the first big change, Senate Bill 948. Under existing law, anyone buying or bringing a firearm into California has to have a firearm safety certificate. Currently, this means you'll have to study the California Firearm Safety Certificate Study Guide, then take a 30-question test and earn a minimum of 23 out of 30 questions. SB 948 tweaks this process in two big ways. First, it extends the deadline for someone bringing a firearm into California to report their firearm and get that certificate from 60 days to 180 days. Second, starting July 1st of 2028, new applicants must complete at least 4 hours of training within the year prior, including live fire drills at a qualified shooting range. Failure to comply becomes a misdemeanor. Previously, it was an infraction, so this is not something to ignore. There will be exceptions to this. For example, those who obtain their Carry Concealed Weapon Permit or CCW permit will be exempt from the safety certificate training because they already go through more extensive training for their CCW permit. I had a client, Maria, who recently moved back from Texas and wanted to bring her pistol home. Under the old rules, she had 60 days to get her certificate and report that firearm to California Department of Justice. SB 948 will give her 180 days, but she still needs that certificate before reporting the gun. The key takeaway is you'll have more time, but the training requirement is getting stricter. So don't procrastinate until 2028. My advice, start practicing so the live fire portion doesn't stress you out. By the way, if you'd like structured courses that meet and surpass California's requirements and give you the confidence and competence to defend yourself inside and outside your home, we do that all day long through our Confident Defender program. If you're interested, click on the link in the pinned comments and book a time with me directly and we'll see if you're a fit. Next, let's talk about Duncan v. Bonta, the long-running fight over California's large capacity magazine ban, or what the rest of the world calls standard capacity magazines. Short version is, nothing changes right now and we still cannot buy large capacity magazines until the Supreme Court makes a decision on this case. But here are the details if you want to learn more. In March of 2023, the Ninth Circuit Federal Court of Appeals upheld the state's prohibition on magazines that held more than 10 rounds, which means the ban can stay in place. That's why we cannot buy standard capacity magazines right now, because that's the latest ruling issued on this case. Fast forward to August of 2025, the plaintiffs, or those who are fighting to overthrow the ban, filed a petition or a request with the US Supreme Court asking them to make a judgment on this ban, violating the Second Amendment, and also whether applying it to magazine purchases before the ban constitutes a taking. For those of you, if you don't know what a taking is, it's a legal terminology that comes from the Fifth Amendment of the US Constitution, saying the government cannot take your things away without giving you fair compensation. As of now, the case is waiting to be accepted or rejected by the Supreme Court. They get to decide if they want to take up the case or not. Once they do, then it has to be scheduled on the court calendar, and none of that has been done yet. That's why nothing changes right now and the ban stays in place. But if the court takes up the case, we could see a major shift, and I'll keep you updated. Just hit the subscribe link so that when we post new content, you get notified. That way, when there's a change, we can let you know ASAP. And in the meantime, I advise my students to focus on skills like rapid reloads and accuracy with the equipment they do have so that they can still defend themselves, even including this magazine ban. Third on our list is Assembly Bill 1127, often dubbed the Glock ban, which was signed into law by Gavin Newsom in October 2025. AB 1127 reclassifies many striker-fired handguns that don't have an external hammer, as opposed to this handgun, which does have an external hammer. So the bill reclassifies a lot of these striker-fired handguns as machine gun convertible pistols because they can theoretically be modified to fire automatically. Starting July 1st of 2026, licensed firearm dealers in California will be prohibited from selling these pistols. Dealers who violate the law face escalating fines and even revocation of their federal and state licenses. If you already own a Glock or a similar striker-fired pistol, AB 1127 doesn't make your gun illegal to possess. It just bans future sales in California. The bill's supporters argue it prevents conversion kits from turning these pistols into machine guns, but critics say it's redundant because these conversion kits are already illegal to possess and doing the actual conversion is also already illegal. Either way, we expect increased demand and potential price hikes on Glocks before the July 2026 deadline. I've had students asking whether they should take action on this legislation now, and my answer is to make your decisions based on your personal needs and training goals, not fear. Remember, laws can change what's on the shelf, but they don't change how you train. Focus on your defensive shooting techniques and safe gun handling. It's skill, not the model, that protects you. Buying a gun makes you safe like buying a guitar makes you a musician. I've had students bring in expensive, high-performance guns to class and not know how to shoot them, and I've had people bring in more modest firearms with much better proficiency. So please understand that the platform doesn't matter if you don't have the fundamentals. Next, let's talk about the infamous handgun roster. California law forbids the sale of any handgun not on the Department of Justice's approved roster. Here's the catch though, for every new model added, 3 existing models have to be removed, which means the list is always shrinking. So as a result, new handguns available elsewhere in the country are effectively banned in California. A coalition of gun right groups sued the state in 2020. The lawsuit argues that banning non-rostered handguns, many of which commonly owned nationwide, violates the 2nd and 14th Amendment. The case is known as Renna v. Bonta and it's pending in federal court. For now, the roster rule remains in place, so if you're shopping for a handgun, make sure it's on the current roster or you'll be turned away. So my advice for now, find compliant handguns and focus on training proficiency instead of chasing the latest gear. Not that the equipment doesn't matter, it matters a whole lot, but your skills matter more than the brand name. Finally, the biggest lifestyle change for many gun owners is SB 53. Until now, California's safe storage rules only required you to lock up your gun when children or prohibited persons were present. Starting January 1st, you must securely store every firearm in your residence whenever it's not under your immediate control. That means locking it in a DOJ-certified safe or disabling it with a DOJ-certified security device. First and second violations carry fines up to $500, and a third offense becomes a misdemeanor. I want to share a quick story. When my wife told me we were having our first child, I did a complete audit of our home. I added fast opening safes to the bedrooms and a separate safe for guns that we use recreationally. I even became a certified youth firearms coach because my responsibility isn't just to know how to shoot, it's to keep little hands away from danger, it's to keep them safe. Proponents say this will reduce suicides and thefts. Critics of this bill worry about slower response times during home defense. My take: safety and readiness aren't mutually exclusive. You can use fast opening safes and practice accessing your firearms quickly. So spend some time this week practicing with your lockbox so it becomes second nature. But if you own firearms for protection or recreational use, I think we can all agree that catastrophes such as the 13-year-old Irvine, California child who died because a loaded firearm was left where the child could access it goes against everything I'm trying to teach here. If you're realizing that navigating these laws while staying ready for self-defense is more complicated than you thought, our Confident Defender program walks you through exactly how to do both, and it's one-on-one with me. If you're interested, click on the link in the pinned comments and book in a time with me directly, and we'll see if you're a fit. There are a few more 2026 changes worth noting. AB 1078 says beginning April 2026, you can only purchase up to 3 firearms in any 30-day period. The same law opens California's concealed carry permitting to non-residents who meet all of the state's requirements. If you're one of my out-of-state viewers, this could be your chance to get a California CCW. And if you need any guidance on this as a DOJ-certified CCW instructor, I can help you if you reach out to me. Simply click on the link in the pinned comments and book a call. SB 704 and AB 1263 say starting in 2026, transactions involving unattached barrels, 3D printed gun parts, and other firearm accessories must go through a licensed dealer. That means no more casual barrel swaps or private sales without paperwork. A later phase will add background checks and registration for these parts as well. If you're ready to turn this knowledge into practical defensive skills, our waitlist for the Confident Defender program is about to open again. During this 12-week program, you start working with me directly to build your personalized 12-week training path tailored to you and your current skills to transform you into a confident protector of yourself, your family, and your community. So if you think you're ready, or maybe even if you're not, but just want to have a better understanding of how I do it and what has made this program so successful, simply click the link in the pinned comments and join the waitlist. It's absolutely free. If you're not quite there yet, no worries. Check out my next video on 5 common concealed carry mistakes. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.